All right, gang, I am now going to show you how to edit your story into an animatic using Adobe Animate. Now, quick disclaimer, Animate is one of my least favorite softwares to use. There's so much about it that I find really clunky and not user-friendly, and so many things that they could have adopted from other Adobe software to make it much easier. So I just want to apologize in advance for these steps being way more unnecessarily complicated than they should be. The other thing was I tried importing my story in as an MP3 and it wouldn't even let me, so I had to convert it to a WAV file. So now that that rant is out of the way, I'm going to show you the steps on how to do this. Well, one more thing. If you're doing this in Animate and you find that you're frustrated with it, I recommend, if you're not too far into it, go ahead and just switch over to Premiere, because Premiere is just so much easier than this is. If you're in Animate and you're enjoying it and it's working well for you, then by all means, just keep going through Animate. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a new file. So I'm just going to close out what I have already, and I'm not going to save that. All right, so right off the bat, one thing that's annoying is Adobe Animate, hence the name, is used for animation a lot, and yet they don't have any animation presets. This is all for like development and for building apps and stuff, which like hardly anyone does anymore. So that's my first complaint. So if you go to templates though, they do have some animation stuff, but you have to go to, it's not animation, it's going to be media playback, and then you go to title safe area HD 1080. So that's the one we want. So I'm going to click OK, and the reason I chose that was because it's the right frame size. The other thing is you can't pinch the screen with a trackpad to zoom out. I don't know why that's not a feature. So we got to do fit in window, or you can press Command minus and plus like that. So you can just ignore these gray things. This is just what's called title safe, which is in the video world what you should keep your text within this area for it to get to show up in most screens. Okay, so down here you'll see they've got the title safe, and then they have content. So I'm going to add one more for our audio. So the way you do that is you click that to create a new layer. I'm going to double click, and I'm just going to call this audio. Okay, so the other thing you might notice is right here we've got a list of numbers and then numbers with S's. So the ones with the S's are how many seconds, and the ones right below that is how many frames. So we need to set our frame rate. I usually like to set to 12 for animation. So to do that, we press Command J, and that brings up the animation settings. So I'm going to click where it says 29.97. I change that to 12. And you'll also notice that the stage size is 1920 by 1080. That is the standard HD frame size. So I'll click OK. And now here's the annoying part. My audio is about 2 minutes long, and you'll notice that this is only like about a minute, whereas Premiere, you know, it's got several minutes. And there's no way to just go in and say extend timeline to 2 or 3 minutes. You have to go in and manually keep extending it. So the next thing we're going to do is import our files. So I'm going to go to File, Import to Library. And while I'm complaining, I might as well say, in Premiere you can just double click here and it'll automatically import it. I can't do that on Animate. So I've got to go in here, and I'm going to import my audio, which I think I left somewhere else. Here it is. So there's my audio file. It's now in my library, and now I've got to, and look, I can't even import from the right-click menu. Why, guys? Why? I don't know. So go to File, Import to Library again, and I'm going to go to where my pictures are and select all these and hit Open. So there we have it. We got all of our pictures, then we've got our audio. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this audio onto the stage, and you notice it doesn't auto expand to fit the audio. It just stays at 1 frame. So the way we extend it is we go as far as we possibly can go. I'm going to click here and right click. I'm going to choose Insert Frame. And now you'll see this squiggly line. So that's the audio waveform. And one thing we have to do in order to hear it properly is we have to go to the Properties panel, and we need to make sure where it says Sync that it's set to Stream. It's typically not set to Stream. What Stream allows you to do is to hear the audio as you're dragging it left and right, or like hear it from wherever you play it from. If you have one of the other modes, you're going to have to go to the very beginning, and it plays it and just continuously plays until you tell it to stop. So anyway, we want Stream. Okay, so now we have our audio, but then, like I mentioned, it only extended it to 1 minute, so we need to extend it even further. So I'm going to go all the way to here, right click. Oh, it just went back for some reason. All right, so I'm going to try that again. Right click, Insert Frame. There's some more audio, and now it's given me some more frames, so I'm going to drag to the right. I'm going to right click again, Insert Frame. Okay, so it looks like we've reached the end of our audio, which is right about at 145 seconds. Okay, so now we have the audio. Now to add the video, we're just going to use Content. And I'm just going to go back to our library, find my first frame, and just drag that onto the stage. Let's try it again. Okay, let's try it one more time. There we go. So, there it is. There's our picture. And again, you can see it's only got 1 frame worth of animation for that, and it just goes blank. So what I need to do is I need to play it until I'm ready for my next drawing. Okay, so on my end I can hear the audio. You're probably not hearing it. But that was the end of the audio for the first frame. So I'm going to right click and then just say Insert Keyframe. And what that does is it allows, by having a keyframe, it allows me to start the next frame. So now this is extended all the way to here. And then now I'm ready for the second frame. So I'm going to click this, delete it, and drag in the second frame. All right, and then I'm just going to go all the way till the end of this part. All right, so that was the end of this frame. So I'm going to right click, Insert Keyframe, and then I'm going to just delete it for the third one. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's the process. Now, if you're not going to be importing your drawings, it's going to be a pretty similar process, except you're just going to be drawing right on the frame. So let's see, for the next one, it's just going to be me. And there's a phone, and then you can see why I chose to draw with a marker, because drawing with a trackpad is not as easy. Okay, so there I am. That's me holding a phone. So you can do it that way as well. So either way is fine. But then once I've animated it, I've gotten the whole thing, and I'm ready to export. I go to File, Export, and then I want to export movie. I don't want JPEG sequence. That's interesting. Let me try one more time. Export. Oh, video. My bad. Who'd have thunk? Okay. So let's see, convert video in there, another state, okay, and then click export. And there you have it. So, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, I would choose Premiere if I were doing this, but if you're already in Animate, that is how you do it.